Morning. For many of you, whenever you see this, it may be morning. For some of you, and maybe the evening by the time you see this. And maybe it'll be 2 days later. Who knows? But I haven't done a video update in a while. It's been chaotic, crazy, hectic. A little bit. I've gotten a lot of questions from many of you about where I am, what I'm doing, how I'm approaching the situation. So bear with me. This is going to probably be a little bit. I'm going to try and keep it concise though. But let's have a cup of tea, shall we? We're just going to have a cup of tea, have a chat. I'm going to tell you where I'm at, what the situation is, what I'm doing, and what I believe is my next steps. I'm not going to share specific information about the virus itself. That is not on. That I'm not going to try and keep pushing information as if it's from my mouth. If I share anything, it'll be from a reputable news source that I believe is reputable. New York Times, WHO, Washington Post. So I have been sharing some things because I feel like there's a lot of misinformation out there. So trying to help, but who knows? Almost like yelling into an abyss, but trying. So I'll start at the beginning. I am in Ireland. For many of you, you'll know that I've been here off and on. I mean, with my travels, I've been using Ireland as a base. Basically, since the first time I came here, July of last year. It's become my home. Excuse me. It's become my home. And the community here on the island have become like a family to me. And honestly, there is not anywhere else in the world that I would rather be right now. Dealing with this whole situation when it comes to locations. This really has become, sorry, trying not to touch my face. This really has become like a home to me. And this community really has become a family and a community that I can call my own. And they've been taking it very seriously. They've taken some steps where currently everyone is already in lockdown. Everything is shut down. Nothing is open. Everything is being coordinated. And honestly, it couldn't have been organized by better people, more knowledgeable people. The wisdom that they're exhibiting is so admirable and something that I'm hoping to absorb by proxy, I guess. They've done an amazing job of taking care of this community and making sure that not a single person will be going without. Everybody, will have food and everybody's going to get taken care of. Not a single person will be left out or in real isolation. Everyone is checking in on everyone. And I highly recommend you all do that as well for people that are isolated. That being said, I've gone back and forth a lot in my brain about whether I should go back to the States. There's a lot of factors to consider, and I know many people are very passionate one way or another. But the reality is, until you're in the situation, you really just, you don't know, and you can't say. I mean, at the rate that things are progressing, everything changing every few hours, things evolving every few hours, it's hard to it's hard. It's hard to know what the right decision is all the time. And I am a very logical person, so I have thought through so much in this situation. I've weighed so many different options, and I have really tried to think of every possible outcome to make the best decision for me at this time. And that being said, I have decided to go back to New Mexico. My my family is there, and I personally think that at some point, whenever the borders close, which I think that they probably will at some point, I know that Ireland's probably heading that way, and I think the States probably will at some point too. And it really came down to me of weighing the options of not just physical health for myself, because I do have asthma, so I am high risk of traveling right now. But many of you know I am a huge advocate of mental health. And I genuinely believe that your mental health is as important as your physical health. And I really needed to weigh those options as well. I needed to weigh out the consequences of every decision I'm making right now. And it really came down to that if anything were to happen to a family member of mine there, and I couldn't be there because of a countrywide lockdown or, excuse me, or whatever the situation, would I be able to handle that mentally? And the reality of that for me is that I don't think I could. I don't think I could handle that. That to me would be as bad as me contracting the virus. That would be as bad, if not worse, as my mental health would be compromised completely, I think, at that point. I don't think I'd be able to forgive myself. And I think that that's a big struggle, and that's a big decision to make. So I haven't come to this decision lightly, but I am going back to New Mexico. I think things are going to be moving quickly. Things are going to be progressing very quickly. I'm trying not to touch my face, but I have like snot, you guys. I'm trying really hard. It's really hard. It's so much. So if you see that it's not running down, please just ignore it and act like it's not there. That being said, I am leaving tomorrow on Friday from Dublin, and I'm flying directly to LAX. God willing that everything goes okay, and from there I'll go to Albuquerque, New Mexico, provided everything goes smoothly. I have already been in isolation and like self-quarantine as it is, so I know I've not been in contact. I would feel fairly certain I've not been in contact. I'm not worried really, honestly, about catching the virus. I am worried about being a carrier, so of course I'm taking all precautions necessary. Don't worry. I've got everything. I'm wiping everything down that I touch. I'll be, have hand sanitizer. I am going to be wearing gloves and a mask. And I know some people are saying it's useful, it's not useful, it doesn't really matter. I mean, at this point, it's just better to assume and act as if I do have the virus and I am a potential carrier, as opposed to just pretending that I don't or trying to, work around it. That is the best bet. And I think that more people should be acting like this. So I'm doing everything in my power to not touch my face, rub my nose, rub my eyes. But I am going to be going back to the States. It is indefinite. I am leaving some of my stuff here, I guess, in hopes that I will be back soon to the island. And yeah, I also just wanted to kind of leave a note that it is important that we need to think about more than ourselves. And this is bigger than just me or, you know, being bored in isolation for a few weeks. Boredom is not the worst thing that can happen right now. So I think we need to really get past that. Spending extra time with our kids and our spouses is not the worst thing that can happen right now. Our generation, we are a world that lives online, and we can really take advantage of that right now. So I really challenge you to dig deep. And if you don't have an absolute need to go out, please stay home. Please stay home. Leisurely activities, going out for the day. Like if you don't go around people, like just try and stay home as much as possible. I get it. You get cooped up. I understand. I really do. But it is so important right now. And this will affect the economic, balance of everything as well. But again, I'm not going to go into that too much. I'm just very passionate about it right now because it is difficult. But also important to take care of your mental health. There's so many things that are going to make this difficult. And I know so many people are saying, just continue working like nothing's happening. But the reality is something is happening. And as someone who deals with mental health issues every day, every moment of every day, there is something happening. And no, I can't pretend like nothing's happening. I can't just keep working. I can't, put my head down and grind like, I'm going to, write out the next best novel in the next 3 weeks, because the reality is that my mind is preoccupied. My mind is preoccupied with a lot bigger things that I feel like than just what I'm doing to better myself. And while I am working on those things, it's okay. These distractions are normal. And I think that we should accept that and give ourselves time to accept the new norm that we're dealing with. So don't feel bad if you're not taking one of the Ivy League courses. Don't feel bad if you're not learning a new skill. Don't feel bad if you normally would work at home and now suddenly you just can't seem to focus. That's okay. These things are okay. Give yourself time and give yourself the space to accept these things and deal with these things. And this is a big change for a lot of people. It's a lot mentally, it's a lot emotionally for a lot of people, So while I'm an advocate of like, let's learn something new, you can take this time to do something that's great, it's also okay if you spend this time on Netflix. It is okay if you spend this time just listening to music and just trying to process things. That's okay. Don't let anyone tell you that you should be doing, these life-changing things right now. Some of us just need to survive, and that's okay. And it'll be okay. It really will. It's just a big change. Things are just going to have to alter a little bit, but it will be okay. And I hope you know that I'm here with you, and I love you all. And I will be in the States, God willing, come early Saturday morning. And I will be there indefinitely. It is a one-way ticket that I bought. So I'll be there indefinitely until things settle down, until I feel confident that my family will be okay. So again, #stay home. I love you guys. Feel free to send me messages. I'm here. And of course, we will have plenty of time to talk. So, feel free to reach out. And to all my Aaron Moore family and friends, I am going to miss you all so deeply.